Hello, hello. Welcome everyone. It's so nice to see you ladies chatting. Thank you so much for joining my live again. Um, my name is Cindy. If you've never seen me, I am at Simply Cindy. I am a psychic medium. I have a lot of tools in my basket. So I do mediumship, I do tarot, I do astrology. I love astrology. Astrology is like my passion. Astrology, hypnosis, all kinds of stuff, healing touch, prana, all of that. So here's the deal. Tonight I was all day I've been thinking about it. Like, what am I gonna do tonight? So I've decided that I'm gonna go ahead and do a an upcoming September spread for, because I don't want to do each of the signs. I'm going to stick to the elements. Okay. So if you don't know your element, I will tell you in the beginning. Um, and I want to see what's coming up for September, since we just did the live the other night where I gave you the September astrology, and we have some great stuff coming. Yes, there's some things going on. Pluto's going back into Capricorn. There's going to be some downfall of structures, right? So, but you guys already kind of know that if you've been following me, if you've been watching all of my stuff, so that you're not afraid, so that it doesn't shock you so much and take you time to like ingest it, right? We've already seen that systems are coming down, that people are coming down, like influencers are their true stuff is coming down. If you don't have, I've warned everybody about this for 3 years now. So back in the past, there's a point where when I'm asking my higher self, spirit, the universe, like, what do I need to be helping with? Like, what's the message, the overall message? And for the longest time, they were like, love. You guys have to understand love, self love, loving others, loving self, loving, like, you gotta really delve into love. And we did that. And then the message I was getting, it started 3 years ago, was authenticity. You gotta be authentic. It's time to, what we call now, unmasking. It's time to get to your um true self. And what I mean by true self is the self that you want to be in this life, in this carnation, right? Because we're all of it, right? But that's what you're discovering. You're discovering how to be human in your particular way in this lifetime, right? Like, I've lived many lives. You guys have probably lived many lives. You're going to live many more. Maybe. I really don't know. I know I'll probably come back because I'm nosy. I always say that. I'll probably come back because I'm nosy. I want to see where we progress to, right? But the thing is there's never going to be another Cindy in, except for in this life, right? There's never going to be another me. And so there, in my past I was other things. In my future I'm going to be other things. But there's never going to be a Cindy. And that's what Spirit has been telling me. My higher self has been showing me, and especially with Pluto being in my 12th house. Like, I'm really understanding the difference of, yes, we have these abilities. No, in our past and in our genes and in our DNA, we haven't gotten to explore those things. We get to now in this lifetime. This is a very transitional lifetime, I guess. It's like, in the past there were certain things, like in our DNA. I told you guys, if you've been watching me, I've told you these, your generations past, they had to survive. That's what they were doing. It wasn't like, oh, I get to go to Starbucks and have a coffee. It's like, if I want coffee, I have to grow it, or a merchant comes by ever so often, and I have to like really relish it and kind of save it and do my own grinding and do, like, they had to survive, right? We're not in that anymore. But because of that, we have some habits. And so this is the lifetime that your generations are like, yes, she gets to do it. She gets to do what we wanted to do, what we were striving to do, right? And that, when I'm seeing, as I'm doing mediumship, that is what your loved ones are looking at you like. That's what they're saying. They're like, yes, she gets to do it, right? So, um, we're seeing a lot of us in this next 20 years, not only discovering who we are and discovering, because we've already mastered doing things alone, but discovering how we can come together, how we can be groups, right? I saw this way back in 2007. People would ask me, because even at work, they wouldn't talk about it publicly, but they all knew what I was. They all knew what I did. Not everybody, but the word got around, right? And so when people would ask me, I would say stuff like this, but we were in 2007, right? We were all abundant. Things were going right. It was a very different time. And so when I was saying these things, like we're going to group up and it's going to be a much, we got to worry, we're not going to worry, but we're going to be really, like, food is going to be an issue and things are going to be an issue. And when I was saying those things, we were in such an abundant era that they were like, okay, right, whatever. And I was like, I'm just telling you what I see. You asked me, I'm telling you, right? And then 2008 hit and everybody was like, ooh, I don't know what's going on, you know? And so now we're here at that time that I was seeing, and we're still not at the exact time I'm still, what I said in 2007, we're actually moving towards, right? And I can see that. So authenticity is the thing, that is the message I have been getting for the last 3 years. And they understand, just like they understood about love when they said, it's time for you guys to learn uh, about love, about the love that you guys want to experience here, right? And so back when I was getting those messages, everybody was about, the partnership and the da 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 and the, the dating and the da da da. And you see, it's changed because we have changed, right? And it doesn't mean that we're not going to have partnership. It just means that we're in a different area. Sorry, we're in a different era, that we've learned about ourselves and we've learned to love ourselves. And we've learned, if we want those types of partners that we dream of and that we really want, we have to get to know us first, ourselves first, right? We're learning that. But as generations have gone by, we have a lot of baggage. You know, some of you come from, well, even maybe all of you, I don't know. It just kind of depends on your lineage. Some of you come from marriages where that was the thing to do and you had to, or some of you come from where you had to get married. Some of you come where you had no choice. Your ancestors had no choice, right? Male or female. Just like we're learning about love. And let me say this, just because a lot of us, male or female, are not thinking about partnering up or thinking about having another marriage, or thinking whether, because like I'm a widow, whether I want to or not, right? The fact is, we're all coming to the place. It doesn't mean that we never will. It just means this is the time for us that we needed to heal. We needed to really see straight. We needed to really discover and loving ourselves, because we never got to do that before. Our ancestors didn't get to do that before us. And we're taking on that lineage and changing that. So don't be hard on yourself. And as a society, don't think that, oh, we're moving to a space where we're going to be separate and there's going to be no partners. I don't see that at all. I just see that we're taking this time to learn about ourselves, right? So first was the love. We had to learn to love ourselves, and we have those. My group is always ahead of the curve. We just always are, because I'm ahead of the curve. So loving ourselves, but then the next thing is the authenticity. Okay, now that you're learning who you are, let's learn to take off those masks. Let's learn to be who we really want. Love was just the first part. What is the character that you want to be? What do you want to do in this life? How do you want to, what's your stance here, right? And you can be anything. What are the abilities that you have that you hadn't gotten to develop? What are the talents that you had that you hadn't got to develop? Your life isn't over because you get older and you retire. Like, you're just coming to a new phase, right? Love is the key. Love was the start, but love isn't all. And I told you guys on the last one, authenticity is like 4,000 times more powerful than unconditional love. And that's been proven. And I want to do a video about it, because love is important. and loving ourselves is important, but it's only the start. It's only the start. But our higher selves, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, right? Love, whatever you want to call that, has said, I understand that you as a species, you humans, I understand you haven't gotten to be authentic. And there's so much magic in each one of you because I am you. You are me. Right? So there's so much magic. There's so much ability. There's so much talent. There's so much. And then when we come together, it's even more. Right? And so we're having to learn to be who we are, who we want to be, and then also coming together. Does that make sense to everybody? Now is the time, because I'm talking, you guys want to get seated, get comfortable, get cozy, and you want to get your drinks. Some of you like a little drinky drink. Some of you like some tea. Some of you like some coffee. Some of you, whatever you want to do, right? Some of you like a little smoky tokey. Some of you like whatever. It's just time to do that while I'm talking. Get everybody all nice and comfortable. Let's open up our heart chakras. Let's open up our, already got my tea. Perfect. Okay, let me see. I have really, so here's the thing. We may not have a lot of water signs in here. I know, Kathy, you are. But they have been on my mind. They have really been on my mind. So I think I'm going to do water first, because they have been on my mind. And then after water, I'm going to do earth. Yeah. So water, earth, fire, air. Let me see what water signs got right now. Woo-wee. That's the first card. I'm going to show y'all that, and then I'm going to lay it out. King of Pentacles. You are the King of Pentacles. See, I'm telling you. Scorpios, Cancers, Pisces. You've got your stuff coming. Wow. Yeah, I'm not afraid of that. What got you here? In the next month, first of the month, your higher self. End of the month, what's your fear? Interesting. How do people see you? What's on the outside? And what's your theme? What's the overall? Okay. So, water signs. Overall, you are going to get some stuff. It looks like you have to make some choices about some things. When I'm looking at this whole thing, let me look at it for a second. You're in a good spot right now. You're in a really good spot right now. I don't feel like you feel like you're in a good spot right now. I feel like some of you are seeing how people have taken advantage of you. Like some things came about. You're seeing the reality of some situations is what you're seeing. And then normally when you can feel something, you didn't feel it. And that's thrown you off. But remember what I was saying. We have to have faith in ourselves, and you're not going to see it. And I'm seeing that that's happened to you. My overall advice is to hold steady and have faith in yourself. There's some things going on, but I'll go over it, okay? All right, here we go. So this is you. You have the King of Pentacles. So a lot of you have been very grounded. Where in the past, You've been too emotional, right? And so I am seeing right now that you have grown from this. So I see that you are the pentacles, the actual king of pentacles, uh, which you've been working really hard. Maybe that's why water signs have been like quiet, because you've been focused, you've been working, whether that's working on yourself. I do feel a lot of you have been working, but I feel like you've gotten some. This is what I feel. I feel like some of you have had learned to balance your emotions and get focused and be real with yourself, and some things have come about for you. It has stalled a little bit. Again, we're in retrograde because I'm seeing the house behind you, not with you. And so to me, the house is like that stability. That's what you've been working on, is the stability, um, and pleasure. So what makes me feel good and what makes me feel stable, right? And so I do feel like you got a little bit of it because this olive branch is in front of you. But do you see the that, to me, that the pleasure that's behind you? So some things have happened, and I feel like you've gotten some things come through. It has made you feel a little bit more stable. You So some of you have moved on from, I gotta feel this way to be able to do this, right? Like so I'll just say this. Like some of you, it's like, I have to have a partner, I have to have love, or I don't feel whole, right? Does that make sense? And then, like, I feel like you've moved away from that and realized that you are your own stability, that you are your own pleasure. I know that doesn't sound right, but you know what I mean? Like, the pleasure can come outside, but I need to, like, a lot of you realize that you needed to work here first, right? And you've done it. I've seen that you've grown, and this is weird the way they're showing me. I've seen that you've grown because of the horns, right? So it's almost like you've made yourself stable, you've worked things out, or you've worked really hard at these things. This is what's happened. You've worked really hard at these things. I feel like you don't feel like enough has come in. Like, I've worked really hard. I should have more coming in, right? And so for that, that's the reason I'm saying you may not feel like the King of Pentacles, but know that you're in the right spot. Know that you're in the right place. You've even got a seat. That's how stable you are. So you're a little comfortable, right? And that's perfect. That's where you want to be. So you see the seat, like you're even sitting. So I'm seeing that you're more comfortable. You have been working hard. You have been working hard on yourself. You have been working hard on your emotions. You have been working hard on work. Um, and I feel like a lot of you feel like I should get more. Like, for all this work I've been doing, more should be manifesting. Now, just know that it is coming. It's just going to be coming as we get out of these retrogrades, okay? Now, this is what's crossing you. This is what's like holding you back and making it harder for you, okay? This is like what's almost like I was saying with us Aquarians, where we can get in our own way, where we think we're smarter than everything and we're not. Because we are smart, but they're not smarter than everything, right? And so we can get in our own way. This is what I feel like for you guys. I feel like there's some choices that you need to make, and it's almost like I have done so much. I have done so It's like I have cleared some people, and I have dealt with my emotions, and I have worked really hard, and can I just have this one little thing? Like, just this one little thing. It's not going to hurt anybody. And it's a bigger issue because that one little thing, uh, she needs, oh my God. We have a bot or something here, and I don't have a way to like, I think some of you guys are, I forgot what they're called. But anyway, you can get them out. I don't know if I can. Can I? Hold on just a second. Okay. There we go. That's perfect. No, that's a good thing. Um, so to me, that's a good thing. If we got a bot, that means we're being seen. So that's a good thing. That just tells me that we're getting bigger. That just tells me that we're going further. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So what back to what I was saying. Um, I feel like there is a so for some of you, I feel like it's like, okay, I've worked so hard that can I just have this one little thing and not deal with it right now, right? And so for others, I feel like you don't trust yourself enough yet to make this choice, so you've decided I don't want to do that right now, right? And so it's the one that's crossing you. It's the chariot, right? And so I feel like some of you, this is really interesting. What I'm feeling like is that some of exactly how I feel deserve more, but also don't trust myself. Yeah, so here's the thing. Oh my God. Um, so here's the thing. Um, I feel like with the chariot, I feel like let me get that feeling back because I feel like you, let me look at this again. I lost that feeling. I'm sorry. Uh, I almost feel this is what I feel. I feel like some of you are waiting for the universe to direct you, even though mentally, consciously, you've grown to understand that you are in charge and that you don't have to wait for life to happen to you. Now, this you get it here. You're not getting it here. And you guys are water signs. You need to get it here, right? For it to be true. For it to like manifest, right? And so what I'm feeling is like up here, you've been told, you've practiced, you know, right? Like I don't have to wait for the universe. I don't have to wait for life to happen to me. I can make life happen. But some of you with because you don't trust yourselves, so you won't make these decisions and you're just waiting to get the signal from life from yeah, from your life to be able to make the choice. Does that make sense? It's almost like I gotta feel it this way for me to know what choice to make. Does that make sense to you guys? Like that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like y'all are waiting for the universe and for life to like happen to you to make these choices. Even though up here mentally, even though you know, even though you've heard me say this, you're not going to see it. You're not going to feel it. You're not going to be psychic about it. And I know this is very different because all our lives we have been these things, right? But it's because we have to learn to have faith. Now, if you feel it, that's not faith, that's your ability, right? So you have to learn to have faith and trust in yourself. It's not a punishment, it's a development of this part that you have not developed in yourself. Same thing for me. It's the same thing for all of us, right? We are not going to see it. We're not going to feel it. We have to have faith in ourselves, not in anybody else, but in ourselves. Okay. So it's almost like y'all are waiting for that to happen, and it's not. It's not going to give you the clue. It's just not. That's what I've been trying to tell you guys. Okay. So where you came from was the sun. So this put you in this position where you've gotten some things have happened. You saw some things clearly. People, for some reason, I'm hearing people were acting right around you. Like this stuff happened, and then, like it wasn't all good. You saw some things clearly. You saw some people clearly. You saw some situations clearly, and that's what put you in this position was the sun. Um, some of you, it was a good thing. Some of you saw that people saw you for the good things that you do, the kindness that you have, all of that. And then some of you were saw that even though you were those things, those people did not do that for you, right? Yep, nobody's going to come and save you, so to speak. Exactly, exactly, Aries. So that's for that. That's what got you into this position of once you saw yourself clearly, once you saw situations clearly, this made you start making choices for yourself. Uh, taking that job, getting into that relationship, dropping that friendship, all, whatever that was for all of you guys. Maybe at work, coworkers, like I'm seeing that too. It was the sun that helped you get there, and then that put you in a great position. But again, what's stalling y'all is like not trusting yourself, right? So that's where you are. That's where you came from. Let's look at where you're going. Let's look at what's coming in for you guys because the energy is releasing. We already saw that in the astrology, right? So it over the first half of September, for you water signs, we have the Knight of Swords. Okay, so that to me is not just news, but it's like things coming of swiftly. So you are going to get some gifts. You are going to get some people. You are going to get some help. You are going to get um, some of the things that you're trying to manifest, but it's going to be a shock to some of you because it's the Knight of Swords. It's not the King, it's the Knight. So he doesn't just come with news like the page. He comes with the actual thing. So it's and to me because it's the idea, it's a swords. It comes swiftly and it's like a choice, right? So not just the idea, but the choice and some things, right? So everybody's different. It will happen differently to everybody, and I see that in the first 2 weeks, if not before then. I'm kind of seeing a little bit before then too. So I feel like it's swift. I feel like it's like, oh wow, that just happened, and that's what I've been waiting for. Or yeah, because I'm seeing the birds flying too. So it's swift. There's a choice. There's a decision that you have to make about this too. For it's like, oh, you get this. Are you going to be able to make it, or are you going to be able to go, or are you going to be able to have like, are you going to? It's a choice that you have to make. Okay, so that's going to be happening at the first half of September for you guys for the water signs. Yeah, there's something about Scorpios that I'm like, Scorpios have gone really deep, and I need y'all to like make a move. Yeah, I'm feeling like You're about to rise like the phoenix, but you've gone so deep, and it's almost like you wanted to stay there. It's time to come out. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling for Scorpio specifically. Okay, and this is the message from your higher self. This is to help you move through these, help you when those things come. It's the same thing I've been telling you. That's the Two of Swords, right? You're ready to make a choice. You're clear about making. You're clear about being courageous and bold and knowing yourself and doing that. Like you're ready. You see the swords and you feel the moon. Isn't that funny? You feel the moon. So you feel connected. You're here. You see the swords. You're ready to make the choice. You're not seeing it. You are stable enough to make this choice. And your higher self wants you to know you're in the right spot, but you're not going to see it. You're not going to feel it. It's because it's your choice to make, not the universe's, not your life. You were wanting to direct your life. You are at that spot now to direct your life. You are at that spot where you get to start manifesting what you want, right? Like you're in that spot where you're clear. But this is going to be a very different way because you are trying to develop another part of you, right? It's almost like you water signs need to develop your psychic abilities. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that you don't have any. I'm just trying to give you I'm trying to give you an example. It's almost like water signs having to develop their psychic ability, which is what air signs usually have, instead of their empath or empathic ability, right? And it would be like air signs having to develop their emotional or their empathic ability. Does that make sense? It's this part of you that you are trying to develop more. And I know a lot of you have even said to me, I wish I could do da da da. I wish I could, I wish I could do mediumship. I wish I could do tarot. I wish I could, whatever, right? Whatever that is. This is part of that. This is part of what you've been asking for. This is a part in your life where you wanted to develop this. Does that make sense? So that's from your higher self. Just know that you're in the right place. And this is going to be a little bit different way of you manifesting this. Doesn't mean that you have to do it all the time. It just means right now, what you're trying to create is in this way. Does that make sense? And that's in September. So know that as the choices come, as the things that you see, but you don't feel, but you see, but you don't feel, and that makes you uncomfortable because you're used to feeling and not seeing, just know you're in the right place. And the thing to do is to have faith in yourself, to know. I mean, like, tell yourself the truth. In the past, I've not failed. In the past, I knew how to get myself out. In the past, like, really tell yourself the whole story. That makes sense? And then at the second half of September, I feel like you're drained. So you have the Nine of Swords. So I feel like, here's the thing. In the second half, when it doesn't come about right away, because for some of you it will, for some of you it won't. No, I think for a lot of you it will. That's not the deal. The deal is, like for some of you that's going to happen where it's not going to come about right away. But for others of you, this is what I feel. I'm feeling like you're being too hard on yourself. Because you're like, I'm going to give you an example. Even if I just made the choice. So I'm proud of myself. I made the choice. I'm trusting myself. I have faith in myself. I don't see it. And then the next day you're like, oh, what if I didn't do it right? What if it's the wrong choice? What if it's the, like, I feel like you get into your emotions too much, right? I feel like you feel burdened by this. I feel like you feel tired by this. I feel like, um, yeah, it's almost like you feel like it's too much, but it's not too much. But that's the way you're going to feel, okay? You're going to feel bound. You're going to feel lost. You're going to feel like you don't know what you're doing. just know from your higher self, that's what she's telling you or he's telling you, um, with this card. You're not going to see it. You're not going to feel it. You have to trust. You have to have faith. Okay. There is some, so also because you make the choice, because you get through this, because you do something very different than you normally do, it's going to feel very draining to some of you. Remember to rebalance yourself. Remember to use my meditations. Remember to use anybody's meditations. Doesn't matter to me. Just remember to re-energize yourself, to love yourself, to accept yourself, to honor yourself. Does that make sense? Um, because I keep hearing like you have not failed at anything. You have not. Have you thought so from your point of view, you think you've made mistakes? You never made a mistake. It was the way you were supposed to do it, right? So they want you to know that. Um, so your fear is the Knight of Cups. So that's really interesting. So you have here the Knight of Cups, right? Mm. So I'm seeing a lot of things. I'm seeing some of you are so afraid to move forward, even though you want to move forward. You don't want to leave the space that you're in. But you know you have to move forward because you really want to move forward, but it's so comfortable here that I don't want to move. Like I don't want it to like move. Hey Rodney, how are you? Um I almost feel like you want to tiptoe into the future. I almost feel like you want to tiptoe into your like life coming about. Um Everybody say hi to Rodney. He's from TikTok. He's the one that come I told you guys the last live. He came over from TikTok and just to support me. Isn't that sweet? It's Rodney. There's a wonderful group of ladies here. Really good group. There's some in here, but I don't think they're saying anything. Um, so some of you, if you're a water sign, oh, nice, very nice. So some of you, I do feel like you are getting a gift of some sort that you have been working on. This is like confirmation, but it's your fear too. I'm gonna say your fear is like moving forward. You want to make sure it's the thing that you really want, even though you felt it at the time and have been trying to like have that come about. I feel like there's fear. I feel like, do I even know what I'm doing? Am I doing the right thing? I kind of, I know I got to get out of this situation. I know I got to get out of this, but what's out there for me? Is that going to happen for me? I feel like that's the fear. So, um, you know what I'm also feeling? I'm feeling like you guys know some things are going to be happening and you're a little anxious about it. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like y'all are anxious about this too. It's almost like not knowing but knowing. So, that's what I feel like your fear is. So, let's talk about how people are seeing you, your stance in the world. Um, you guys have the Five of Wands. You water signs have the Five of Wands. So I feel like you can take a look at it for a second. I feel like you're being very protective. I feel like that's how people see you. Like you're being reserved, you're being protected, you're ready to stand up when you need to stand up. I feel like you're being honored in that way. I feel like people are actually seeing you do some things and make some moves and make some choices where in the past you may have crumbled. Like you had to go inward, you had to go by yourself, you didn't like want anybody knowing, all that stuff, right? I feel like they're seeing you come out more. I feel like the universe is handling you that way too. It's like you're making choices, you're doing some things. Uh, these things no longer affect you as much that make you sort of go within and have to like be in your bed forever or whatever it is that it used to be, right? Yeah, listening to you sounds like the Cancer I'm encountering. Yeah, he's a water sign. I mean, if it's water, this is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling that that's the way the universe is handling you. I'm feeling that that's the way people around you are handling you. Like they're not no longer being pushovers. They're no longer thinking that you're going to break at any moment, or that you're so emotional that you can't handle things, or that almost some of you, they walk on tiptoes around you because, oh my god, I don't want to hurt their feelings. I feel like you're in a much better space. Yeah. Giving them that Mars, exactly. So that's the way the universe is handling you, that's the way people are handling you, which is a very good thing. Like, especially for cancers, that's a very good thing. Scorpios will just be quiet and get back at you later, right? But even then, even like all of you, I feel like it's very balanced. And the great thing is you're seeing it in the people and the relationships and the situations that are around you, right? But the universe is handling you that way, which is great. That means, yes, they can make the choice. No, they're not going to get their feelings hurt. Yes, we can give them what they want, right? It's a full circle moment. Exactly. Okay, so this is the energy that's around you guys that you're that's sort of coming in. Um, and that is the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands, get ready. You guys get to relax. So what's coming in for you guys is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is like, I've worked freaking hard. This whole damn like spring and summer. I'm tired. That's you guys, right? Like I worked hard. I'm so tired. I just want to relax. Knowing that you have to get up at some point, there is some relaxation coming for you guys. There is some moments, not even just moments, but some time where you get to spend regenerating. For some of you, that will be alone. For others of you, that will be with family. For others of you, that will be vacationing. For others of you, like it'll be with your friends. It'll be very energizing. It'll be very calming for you, and it'll be very relaxing. Now, I know a lot of you water signs, not every water sign, but a lot of you water signs like to take your time and sleep. That's going to happen too, because that's sort of the energy that's coming in. I feel like when you do this, though, it's going to be very different. It's not, you're going to find that you really aren't as drained as you think you are because you've learned to handle the emotion and balance it, because you've understood more about how Mother Earth works, this universe works, you work, people around you work, right? And so I feel like y'all are really kind of balanced with this. So I feel like there's some rest time coming, but I feel like when it's time to like do some things and make some choices and get out of it, you will, right? Uh, and the Nine of Wands tells me that y'all have worked very hard at this, right? And so in your overall theme of September, and this is in September, so in your overall theme of September, the biggest thing that you are learning is, good night, Rodney. Thanks for coming in. You're going back to the party. Perfect. Thank you for taking the time to come in. I really appreciate it, coming and supporting me. Have a great time with your family. See you later. The temperance. So I feel like the temperance for your whole, this is about you really balancing, which I just said, I feel like you are. I feel like you're going to do it. And in September, it's going to be really balanced. It's going to be, I get to rest and I get to do the things, and some things are coming in and these choices are being made and I'm okay. Like, I feel like you're going to have a great month. Yeah. And by great, You don't necessarily have to have the manifestations of physical things coming in. I feel like your emotions are not draining you. I feel like your emotions are not running you. I feel like you're very balanced and you're happier. And even if you get upset, it doesn't take over and ruin your whole week. That's how I feel. So I feel like you're very temperate. I feel like you're very balanced. That's going to be the overall theme for you guys. So good luck. I'm so happy for you guys. It takes a lot to be able to balance emotions and understand that you're in charge of them and they're not in charge of you. And you guys have come a long, long way from that, right? You're welcome.